Donald Trump, the MAGA movement, the people in charge are mastering, if not mastered, propaganda in a digital age. Elon Musk, as the head of DOGE, is really working overtime to lie to the American people. They've made all kinds of insane claims about fraud that they're finding, and they put up a website, and they're driving traffic to Twitter so Elon can make even more money. And they make wild claims, and then as you'll learn from this New York Times article, a week later, after they made the claims and after the claim has had time to go viral and get embedded into the minds of MAGA Americans everywhere, where they just repeat what they've been told, they repeat what they've heard, they repeat the lie, the conspiracy, the falsehood. After that, then quietly, a week later or so, all of the claims that they made before are deleted from a website. Here's the headline from the New York Times. DOGE quietly deletes the 5 biggest spending cuts it celebrated last week. The cuts, highlighted on an earlier version of the wall of receipts posted by Elon Musk's team, contain mistakes that vastly inflated the amount of money saved. This is not about saving the American people money. This DOGE thing is not about finding fraud, waste, or abuse. This entire thing was about Elon Musk extricating himself from the watchful gaze of oversight of the government. Entities within the executive branch that were holding him accountable for missteps in business, mistreating of employees, environmental problems that his companies are creating, from SpaceX to Tesla, all across the board, Neuralink, all of this. He was being investigated by multiple entities within the federal government. He was being investigated by USAID, and we know what happened to that. This isn't about saving you money. If it were, Elon Musk would stop taking billions and billions and billions of dollars from we the people while saving none in his lies. Here's the article. Last week, Elon Musk's government cost-slashing initiative, which he calls the Department of Government Efficiency, posted an online wall of receipts celebrating how much it had saved by canceling federal contracts. Now, the organization, which is also known as the U.S. DOGE Service, has deleted all of the 5 biggest savings on that original list after the New York Times and other media outlets pointed out they were riddled with errors. You'll remember last week I talked about one of these, that they claimed they canceled a contract that was $8 billion, and it was $8 million. The last of the original top 5 disappeared from the site in the early hours of Tuesday, even as the group claimed in its latest update that its savings to date had increased to $65 billion. The website offered no explanation for why it had removed some of the items or how it had arrived at the higher total. Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary and professional liar, that's my addition, sent a written statement that did not address the deletions, but provided a broader defense of the cost-cutting initiative, saying, quote, it had already identified billions of dollars in savings. The, quote, wall of receipts is the only public ledger the organization has produced to document its work. The scale of that ledger's errors and the misunderstandings and poor quality control that seem to underlie them has raised questions about the effort's broader work, which has led to mass firings and cutbacks across the federal government. And here we are. These are the original 5 largest savings on its list, which are now gone, quietly deleted, now that the information and the ammunition by way of propaganda has been delivered to all of the morons on Twitter who just repeat it uncritically. Now it's gone, and they'll move on to the next lie that's told to them and then subsequently deleted. They deleted an $8 billion cut at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The actual contract in question was worth only $8 million. The mistake seemed to stem from an earlier erroneous entry in a federal contracting database. Next, 3 $655 million cuts at the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID. This was actually a single cut that was erroneously counted 3 times, as first reported by CBS News. A $232 million cut at the Social Security Administration. Here, Mr. Musk's organization appeared to have mistakenly believed that the agency had canceled a huge information technology contract with the defense contracting giant Leidos. Instead, as reported by The Intercept, it had canceled only a tiny piece of it. Now, here's what's great. This last paragraph and a half, is what's really beautiful. It really shines a light upon the entire Donald Trump dynamic here. Is when things are good for him, it's because of him. When things are bad, it's because of Biden. They also are now taking credit for the good things that, under what they would consider good things that have happened, that were Biden's fault, that were Biden's doing. And they're taking credit for a canceled contract that was canceled by Joe Biden. Some of the new canceled contracts added this week appear to make some of the types of errors. The largest savings on the latest version of its list is a $1.9 billion cut at the Treasury Department. But the Times reported last week that this contract was canceled last fall when Joseph R. Biden Jr. was president and when DOGE did not yet exist. Could there be a bigger Trump bullhorn than that? Them taking credit for something Joe Biden did? Gross. Liars. Charlatans. Propagandists. And MAGA world largely doesn't think critically about these things, doesn't care about the norms, about the lives that are being ruined, about the babies who will contract and then die of AIDS untreated. For a minuscule investment on the part of we the people, we can stave off misery in the world. But Elon Musk would rather get himself out from under the watchful gaze of the government so he can continue to rake in billion upon billions upon billions upon billions of dollars in government contracts. That's not at all fraud, waste, or abuse. It's legitimate when it goes into Elon Musk's pockets. Again, gross. What do you think? Comment below. You can call the voicemail line as well, 714-576-4054, or email me daily@dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. If you want to help support the work, here's one thing that you can do that's free. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed, but you watch the videos, subscribe. Click the, it's free. On the other side of that, if you want to give $1.99 per month to help support this work and help me produce these videos, you can do that. Take part in the work. You can click the join button below for $2 a month. You can become a channel member, or you can go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Wow. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere on social media, not on Elon's. I actually went private there. I don't tweet or anything, but I don't want somebody to steal my account and start posting crazy shit under my name. Everywhere else, though, at Dollemore, I'd love to see you there. And I will see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.